Walter III. Again, thank you, all you Olympic skaters. Very current. When I was 14, I was Cher. I wore my hair long, you know, always, you know, in my face, and right down the middle, lots of black eyeliner. I looked like Cousin It, but I was Cher. I was very, you know, I loved Cher. I had not yet been introduced to Joni Mitchell, so Cher was my goddess. And I was like, Cher. And around the same time, a family friend had submitted a reel-to-reel tape of my original folk songs to the WLS in Chicago Big Break Radio Contest. And I got in. And it was competing with bands and other, you know, singers and musicians. And I won first place. And one of the prizes was a recording contract with Mercury Records. And I recorded a 45. You young bloods have to Google that, I realize. And Mercury released me instead of the record. But they did fulfill their contract. But shortly after this, I really started to get some attention, you know. It wasn't going over real well with the nuns at St. Thomas, where I was in school, you know, because, you know, so, it was so much attention toward Mary. So I didn't make the cheerleading squad because I had already gotten my allotment for life of attention. So I started playing around the city, and it was exciting, and my mom was a big help because she had been a singer and toured with the USO back in the 40s. And so she helped me quite a bit, and I got a call one day from Sig Sakowitz, who was a radio personality in Chicago, very big, popular radio. And his office was calling, and he said, you know, we'd like to invite you to go on a USO tour with me and a troupe of other musicians to Vietnam. You know, so I'm like, oh man, I gotta ask my, I can go. So I said, well, you know, please come down to my office and we'll talk about the tour and what you're gonna need, you know, and the shots you're gonna need. And so I you know, put on my headband and bell bottoms, and of course, long hair, lots of black eye. And we're sitting in his office, and you know, I'm so excited and kind of mute, you know, when he said, some other artists who are going to be on the tour just happen to be in Chicago, and they're going to stop by. They're here for a concert. They're going to stop by the office to meet with us also. So I thought, cool. And so we're sitting there, and in walks Sonny and Cher. Oh. Right? I'm like, Cher! I know, it's like looking in a mirror, right? She was very tall, he was not. You know, they had on their fur vests and boots, and, you know, we all mumbled hello. Unbelievable, not in your body experience, right? We ended up, you know, just talking briefly, and then they had to go, but incredible. First manifestation, I'm thinking, first manifestation. I ended up getting a call from Sig's office 2 weeks before we were supposed to go, saying, we're sorry, but a law was just passed that no one under, I was 15 at the time, no one under 18 can go to Vietnam. we're good to go. But I had my shots, so. Didn't really come in handy in Crystal Lake, but. So that was a manifestation, but not a vision. And there is a difference. So today, I want to talk about the difference, because I'm reading this book that I hope, and I'm sorry that life is so different now. If we were going to be focusing on a book, we would have asked ARE to order several copies. It's called Life Visioning by Reverend Michael Beckwith. Has anyone read the book or seen the book? It's remarkable. And I had a copy of it when it came out, and I've moved about 3 times, and you know how that goes, and my books are everywhere, but so I downloaded it on my Kindle, and oh my gosh, it's a magnificent book, and the one that I'll be working with and quoting as we go through this month. I'm here till the end of January. We're taking the whole month of January to talk about visioning and what a vision is, and that it takes time to develop a vision, that it's not a weekend vision map, or vision board event, though those are helpful and they have been helpful. They are good for visualization, but maybe not visioning. So what I'm learning about a vision. So you don't have to come up with a vision. You already have one. Is that good news or bad news?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You don't have to come up with a vision. Because honestly, full disclosure, I want the cash and prizes. I'm here for the cash and prizes. And I have been for a long time. But that's not a vision. That's cash and prizes. And that's what Reverend Doctor, I love Reverend Doctor. That just sounds so incredible to me. There's a person who was doing their homework, baby. Reverend Michael Beckwith talks about the 4 stages of evolutionary growth. What? Which are basically, life is happening to me, by me. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I want a new car, I want a new car, I want a new car. New car. And that was a great stage to be in when I first came to Unity. Because it did sort of get me out of the victim, life's hard. It got me out of that place long enough to go, wait a second, I have some power here, I have some say here. But that's not a stage that's sustainable, right? Because the first bad day I had in Unity, I'm like, did my wand break? What the heck? That's not what it's about. Though it was an introduction to manifestation. Actually, Unity was the first place I had heard the word manifestation. And so you've had a vision for a long, long time. But maybe your vision, I think all of us, the European frescoes in the ancient churches were beautiful, and then they started being restored to their original beauty, and people were so shocked by how bright they were and how bright the paint was and the gold gilding that they didn't like it. I think we're like those paintings in that so much of the world gets on us that it just sort of dulls that vision, that dream, because kids are like, yay! I was, a lot of you know, I just spent a year and a half up in Minnesota where everything is so nice. It's just so nice. They have 10,000 lakes and just as many Target stores. And I was, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful, the Lake Minnetonka area, and has a lot of energy for me. But I was taking a walk near the lake, and I could hear kids in this little wooded area of this subdivision where I was playing, and they had sticks and they were building a fort, and one of them said, "Oh, that's how magic is made." I'm telling you, my eyes welled up, right? Because I thought, we're going to be okay. And God bless those parents, whoever that kid's parents were, that she would say, and this is how magic is made. I hope they hang on to it for a long time. So I'm not saying I can go back there, but I would like to restore that. I would like to restore that. And first, I think there needs to be an emptying out. To sort of start over and go, I don't know what my vision is. But here's a clue. Going over the steps to visioning, just to become familiar with them, though, we'll dive into some of the questions I had. And thank you, Brenda, for printing these out. They're the visioning questions. And I learned about visioning when I was in practitioner studies in 2007 and 2008. But Reverend Beckwith talks about the 4 stages of evolutionary growth. Because I feel more has been revealed, more will always be revealed. And your vision might be something so completely different from what you think or have thought it was, that it will surprise you. I was listening to Krista Tippett this morning, which I often do on Sunday mornings. She's one of my all-time heroes, and she was interviewing the beloved Tutu, and he was saying, God is a God of surprise. And I thought, you're not kidding. Yeah. Maybe a little less surprise. But just when you think it's this way, I once heard somebody say that their boss had a sign in his office that read, "It's not going to happen that way." So I'm going to make my own sign that says that it's not going to happen that way. No matter what I think, listen, we have a meaning maker between these guys and a reason finder, because it makes me feel better, makes me feel safer to know the reason, to know why, and that's okay. That's all right. I just don't want to get attached to it because it's not going to happen that way. Or maybe you're someone who already has a deep meditation practice, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take lots of quiet time and going within, because here's the good news, bad news. Your vision is really your purpose. And I don't know about you, but I kind of like to do what I want to do. I don't want to do what I think, because why do I think it's going to be boring? Why do I think it's going to be something I don't want to do? I mean, that would just be goofy, right? That would just be goofy. So it is a time to go within and have a vision of purpose. So I wanted to read to you a little bit about a little bit from his book, Life Vision. This is a template for inner evolution. It was over 27 years ago that I was a faculty member at the Ernest Holmes Institute teaching the universal principles of the New Thought Ageless Wisdom tradition, which is religious science and unity are very similar, of spirituality. Students were eager to visualize their wants and desires without first visioning for a larger idea or purpose in their life. Now, I'm 62, so I get it. You know, I'm at that stage in my life when I'm supposed to be thinking about being of service. I've had enough face time, I've had enough stage time, I've had enough attention. The nuns would be so happy to hear me say that. I'm good. I'm good. And I don't like talking about myself, but some of my stories are funny and I think might be relatable. But he goes on to say, they didn't realize that visualization is a preconceived notion of what they wanted to have or happen in their life. I loved Cher, and I'm still over the moon that I met her. This is understandable considering the popular saying that if you can see it, you can achieve it. That was great in the 80s when I was, doing a lot of music. In 1983, I started at Unity on the North Shore, and I loved it. And the speakers I heard, especially my beloved teacher, Edwene Gaines, it's the first time I heard her. She was all about prosperity and the abundance that was possible, and it works. I wanted a pink guitar. I don't know, I just wanted a pink guitar. I don't know why. She would say, she says, you could just want a piece of chocolate cake, not for any other reason than you want it. You can want to go to, Cozumel, not for any other reason except that you want it. But there is something deeper that you could have that might be considerably more sustainable. This is the understanding. If you can see it, you can achieve it. The next chapters on the 4 stages of evolutionary growth will trace and qualify how want, desire, visioning, and intention setting evolve into surrendering the outcome, and this is an important line, for the highest good of all concerned. When after the cash and prizes, I'm not thinking about you, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about, what am I gonna get? Lately, not so much, which is grace, that's just grace. But to have a vision of purpose and to say to oneself, hey, is there good in this for others? I think that's an important distinction. So your vision is your purpose. So I think now would be a great time to go into these questions that are on the piece of paper. And I'm going to lead you through this. Just, I think, let's hold this like a bird this time. We don't want to hold it so tightly that we would harm it, but we don't want to hold it so loosely that it doesn't mean anything or have any effect. This is just sort of a dress rehearsal for the weeks to come in visioning. So let's get quiet and just sort of go within, and I will read the, we're gonna be quiet for just a minute, and then I will pose the first question. And with eyes closed, if a thought, a color, whatever comes to mind, don't discount it. Don't say, no, it's meaningless. Just write it down or presence it. If nothing comes to mind, no problem. Okay? So let's get still for a moment, get centered. So we clear our minds and hearts. And sort of just surrender to these questions in a very easy way. There's a big easy button at the top of the page. Big easy button, we're just going to push that. And we ask, what is God's highest vision for? We might want to write my purpose. You can write anything that comes up. My health, my well-being, my career. What is God's highest vision? For me, for me. So just take that in. Second question is, what are the God qualities that I want present? How do I want to feel moving into this vision, moving into this question of how am I to be in the world? What can I offer? What can I give? What are the God qualities? Love, compassion, surrender, grace, harmony, joy, strength, understanding. What are the God qualities I want present? Next question is, what must I embrace? What must I embrace to have this vision come to fruition? Being more available, being less in the world, answering an email that's troubling me or running it by someone else, not doing it alone, getting support. What do I need to embrace? Next, what do I need to release? What do I need to let go of? What no longer serves me or the world? The world that I want to create, the world that needs you, the world that needs you, needs what you have to offer. What do I need to release in order to get a little closer to that? What's standing in the way? What is what's good enough that's taking the place of best that I've settled for? What do I need to release? And lastly, is there anything else? Spirit will let you know. Is there anything else? So this is the vision that Reverend Michael came up with, and it's in the book. But next week we're going to talk about, and again, if you can pick up a copy of it or go online, it'd be fantastic. The 4 stages of evolutionary growth, I think, are really just so fantastic. So, yeah, I didn't see that coming this week when I was studying and researching for today's talk. But it makes so much sense that my purpose would be my vision. Sometimes I go slow, and that's okay. That's okay. I can hear it in Gabe's now. You stubborn thing. You stubborn little thing. She's right. I'm like that Notre Dame leprechaun. Come on. I'm gonna do it my way. Right. So, just lean into this, investigate it. You might get the book or read something on visioning, and just take some time this week maybe to lean into it and investigate it and just be curious. What if I put this with this? What would that be like? And be spirit led and inner child led. I think you guys, our inner children are best and biggest allies. They just want to play. You'll know if they're getting out of hand. Jumping on the bed at midnight. You'll know. You'll know. You can rein them in. That's okay. Time to settle down and meditate. But they've got great ideas. And they've got great memories. I know that when I'm not listening is when a depression and anxiety come up. When I'm not aligned with what, my inner life, my inner child. My inner teenager, she's another story, man. She is always, oof. Yeah. But cool. Yeah, cool. Yes. That's what we're going to be doing till the end of January. I am excited. I'm excited, and I hope that you are too. And I'm going to close with another Daniel Maynard song.